Hello and welcome everyone. This is Sunil from 3D Customs, and we are back on yet another new tutorial series about ray tracing in Unreal Engine. In this tutorial series, we will be learning all about ray tracing from scratch to finish, and ray tracing was recently introduced in Unreal Engine in 4.22, and now it's production ready in 4.25. When I got deeper inside ray tracing, I found it so amazing in terms of how fast we can do architectural visualization inside Unreal Engine. Still, there are some problems in ray tracing, like noise in reflections, and that DataSmith doesn't bring the material from 3D Studio Max to Unreal Engine accurately. So we have to just tweak them until they look good. I will also show some tips and techniques to how to do the material as fast as possible and to reduce the time spent on doing the material. So without any further ado, let's get started. So to begin with the entire process, the first thing we have to do is we have to check the Windows version. So for that, we will go here and then we will type win and then ver. So Windows version. So we have to go ahead and then check whether if we are using the latest version of Windows or not. As we can see, we are using the latest version of the Windows. So if your Windows version is not 1809, you can go ahead and then press the window button on the keyboard and type update Windows and then check for updates. So, and now you can go here and click check for updates, and once it finishes the checking of the Windows update, it will ask you to download them and install. So you go ahead and download them and then install them. So after that, go ahead and check the DirectX version you are using on the computer. So to check the DirectX version, we have to press Windows and then we have to type DX diag and then press enter. And in here you can go ahead and then check that in system tab you can see here DirectX version is DirectX 12. So the DirectX 12 version is also installed in the PC. If it's not, you have to install Windows 10, and this DirectX 12 automatically comes with Windows 10 latest update. So go ahead and update your Windows, and then you will be seeing that your PC has DirectX 12. And in display 1, this tab, you have to go ahead and check the name of your graphic card, that is NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Ti. So as we can see, we have RTX graphic card, which is very important and necessary to have in your PC when you want to do a ray tracing scene inside Unreal Engine. So both of those are checked. And after that, what you have to do is you have to go to Windows and then here you have to go to the taskbar and then you right click on this and then click on NVIDIA GeForce Experience. And if you don't have a account on it, you have to make an account and then log in through your account so that you can go inside this GeForce Experience. And now you have to go to drivers, and here you have to click check for updates. So if there will be any update, you have to download it and then install it. So if you download from here, it will automatically download the appropriate driver version for your graphic card, and after the download is complete, you have to install it. So let's continue further. After that, we have to start our 3D Studio Max scene, so on which we will be going ahead and working further and we'll be making it in real time using the ray tracing technology inside the Unreal Engine. So now we will go ahead and open our scene on which we want to make it in real time in using ray tracing. So we'll go ahead here, the drive, and then we'll go UE4 ray tracing tutorial, and in here we will have 3ds Max file, and this is kitchen living original file. This file will be the file which you get from any modeler you have hired, or you have allotted this file to be modeled, or if you have modeled it yourself, then it's absolutely fine. So we'll just copy this and then we will paste it here, and we will name it as tutorial underscore version 01. So now we will open this so that this original version will be intact, and it will be acting like a backup file for us in case of something goes wrong. So let's go ahead and open this tutorial. So once you see this dialog of missing external files, just go ahead and press continue. And now we have the scene inside our 3D Studio Max, and we will be going ahead and optimizing the scene so that we can use this file as efficiently as possible inside Unreal Engine. So let's go ahead and continue. And for the first thing we need to see is we have to go to customize and then in preferences, and we have to make sure that this texture coordinate, use real world texture coordinate, is not ticked on or maybe not on. And after that we will go ahead and then check the units of the file. So we'll go ahead and then go into system unit and make sure that the system unit is in centimeter, and then metric display unit scale is also in centimeter, metric centimeter. And to make sure that our scene is accurate in terms of units, we will be going ahead and then let me hide the roof. Now I will go ahead and make a box inside this like this, and then I will put the length to 20 and then width to 20 and then height to 172. And once the height is 172, I will go ahead and visualize whether the scale is proportional to the scene or not. So we are taking this 172 as a general height, then as a general height of a human. So we can just go ahead and cross check if this seems okay in the proportion of the scene. So as I can see, it's absolutely okay. So after that, what we will be doing is we will right click and then we will press unhide all and then unfreeze all. And because we don't want anything to be hidden or anything to be freezed, and we have to be just aware of everything that is present inside the scene so that we can deal with all the objects and the geometries and the entities inside Max properly and appropriately. And after that, what we will be doing is we will go ahead and press Ctrl A, and then in here we'll go ahead and click in group, and then we will go ahead and click open recursively. So once again we will press Ctrl A, and then we will go inside group, and then we'll see if this group open recursively is grayed or not. So if it's grayed, that means no group in the scene are closed, and every group that are present in the scene are open now. And after that, what we'll do is we will arrange the object according to their object property in different layers, because we don't need all the entities that are present inside 3D Studio Max to be sent to Unreal Engine, because those all entities are not recognized by Unreal Engine properly. Like Unreal Engine doesn't convert light accurately, and then cameras don't behave accurately, and then helpers are not recognized by Unreal Engine properly. Some cases you can use them, but I don't prefer using these groups and all. So we will only be sending the geometry from 3D Studio Max to Unreal Engine using DataSmith plugin, and along with the meshes, the texture and material will automatically be brought inside Unreal Engine. So let's arrange all the objects accordingly. So what we will do for that is, what we will do is we'll go ahead here and then go into selection filter and then geometry, and then we'll press Ctrl A, and we will go here and then we will create a new layer from the selection, and we will name it 01 underscore geo, and we will hide this. So now we will go ahead and then click shapes and then Ctrl A. So if there are no shapes, then no problem. So let's go ahead and then again we will have to be sure that we will be going into this display panel, and then we'll be just keep switch off all these things like shapes, lights, camera, helpers, space off, particles, bone objects. So everything should be just switched off so that we can find them and select them and arrange them according to their. So now let's again go ahead and press Ctrl A, because we have shapes now. Shapes are on, but still there are no shapes in the scene, so no problem. So now let's go to the lights and then Ctrl A, and then go ahead, make a layer and name them as 02 underscore lights, and then hide this layer again. After that, go ahead in cameras, press Ctrl A, and then again go here, make a new layer 03 underscore cameras, and then hide this layer again too. And then now go to helpers and then press Ctrl A, and then again go ahead and make a new layer, name it 04 underscore, and then name it as helpers. So once we have organized all the objects according to their properties in different layers, now we will not be unhiding this layer. That means these layers will always be hidden. So because we are not going to deal with these lights ever in this scene, so it will be always hidden. Cameras will always be hidden, and the helpers will also be always hidden. Now just unhide the geo, so that now these are the only things which are of meaning to us, and we will be dealing with this object, and then all those things we will be doing, and then taking this into a religion. So now what we have to do after that is, after arranging all the objects into different layers, we will now press Ctrl A, and then we will right click and then convert to editable poly. You can also convert it into editable mesh, it doesn't matter. So you can use either editable mesh or either editable poly. It's not a big difference. Only the main difference is if you convert it into editable poly, you will have lots of options when you want to customize any object, or maybe add something in the object, or to modify it. So to modify an object, we have, if it's a editable poly, we will have lots of features to modify it. And after that, what we will do is we will go and set, since every geometry object are selected in this scene, we will go ahead in tools and then click rename object, and then we will click SM underscore geo, and then again underscore, and then we will click on this number, and then we click rename. So now every object in the scene that are geometry type inside Max are already renamed accordingly, and they are all present on this geometry. So they are all present on this geometry level or geo level. Now after this, what we have to do is we have to go inside render settings, and we have to change the render to Corona. So if the scene you are working in and it's not using Corona render, so you have to change it from here to Corona render. And once you have changed it to Corona render, what you have to do is you have to go into scripting, and then go into run script, and in run script you have to go to Corona render, and now here you see Corona converter version 1.42 or whatever version it might be. It doesn't matter, you just have to select it and then open it. And once it opens, you just have to switch these options like a standard convert specular to a reflection, V-Ray advance, V-Ray blend to Corona GGX, convert V-Ray HDRI, and add a prefix to converted material. Fresnel should be this. Uh, Area light should be converted to corona light, bitmap to corona bitmap, and then convert proxy, you should not switch it on, and then uh, switch render to corona, we should be switched on, and nothing you have to do, nothing here and nothing here, just switch on all these options here and then click start conversion. Now wait until it finishes. So now it's finished converting all the material. So now you can see that all the materials in this scene has been converted into corona material. And now we will be closing this option or dialog box. And after that, what we will go is what we will do is we will go ahead and save this file. And once we are optimizing a scene for ray tracing in Unreal Engine, we have to just do all these things to as a optimization. So it's not that much of lengthy which it was compared to light baking version. So in here only I just have to arrange the object into layer, because we want to take only selected objects to Unreal Engine, and then rename the objects according to their name and rename the object, and then just change the material of the whole scene to corona render, because corona render is converted very accurately. That means corona materials are converted better than the V-Ray material. So we will try to export the scene with corona material, so that and that is the reason we went ahead and use this script to convert the materials of the scene into corona one. So now we already have saved it. So we'll go ahead here and select this layer and right click, and then click on this child node, select child nodes, or you can also press Ctrl A directly, because we can only select all the geometries, and only the geometry object layers, geometry layer is only visible. So anyway, if we press Ctrl A, only the geometries will be selected. So every optimization that is required for a ray tracing scene in Unreal Engine has been done, and now we will go ahead and export them. So we'll go ahead, file, and then export selected, and then go to this PC, and then you for ray tracing, and then we go ahead and make a folder like export, and here we'll go ahead and change to DataSmith here, and now we'll give it the name it like 01 underscore export and save it. So let's go ahead and press, and this DataSmith exporter can take a bit longer time depending on the size of the project. So if it's taking a longer time, just give it ample amount of time so that it can export all the objects into DataSmith format. So as you can see that all the object has been exported into DataSmith, and if we see all these UV channel errors, just ignore them, because in ray tracing we don't need these UV channels, and all those technique is null here. In ray tracing, no need for them to be worried about anymore. So let's go ahead, close this dialog box, and then again I will save the max file, and I will minimize this. So now let's go ahead and I will close this Unreal Engine, and now I will open a. So before that, what I will try to explain is we have to install Epic Launcher. You see here like this Epic Launcher, you have to install it, and you can install it from just on Google, type download Epic Launcher, and now you will get a link to download the Epic Launcher, and just download the Epic Launcher from the download box, and then make an ID on then or Epic Launcher, or maybe unrealengine.com, make an ID and then log in through it. And once you are inside Epic Launcher, you have to go ahead, like here if we see here, you have to go to library, and then you can click on this button, and then you can install 4.25. So for this ray tracing, we need 4.25, because in 4.25 Epic is saying that it's production ready, that ray tracing is production ready, and almost it's ready. Only the reflection noise are there, which has to be removed and worked further. If they remove this real noise on the reflection, then it will be incredible thing to use ray tracing. But still it is high, but still it's extremely usable as of now, and it can be used for production, and no doubt about that. So, and you can go ahead and click here, launch Unreal Engine 4.25, and once the Unreal Engine is open here, you have to go to architecture, engineering and construction, and click on this, and then press next, and then you have to just click on this arc and then click next. And you can also enable ray tracing from here, right? You can ray tracing enable, but apart from ray tracing being enabled from here, we have to anyway go into Unreal Engine project settings and switch some more features for Unreal Engine, switch some more features for ray tracing. So we'll not be enabling ray tracing from here as of because we are learning, and I want to show the detailed version how we can enable ray tracing, because we have to switch on different more settings inside it. I did know project settings, so let's keep it disabled from here as of now, and we'll go ahead here, and then in this Unreal project we will be making a tutorial now folder, and we will be making a folder named as tutorial, or maybe ray tracing tutorial, ray tracing tutorial, and then we'll be and then we'll press create project. So once the Unreal Engine is open, the first thing you have to do is you have to go here in content browser and click this button, and in here content you have to right click and then create a new folder and name it as 01 underscore project, or whatever you like to give this name. So if your project is named that XYZ or ABC, go ahead and put it, and try to put this 01 in front of that, so that it will be, you can distinguish between all the different folders you will be seeing here and bringing here, we will be bringing here later on. So it will be very easy for us to distinguish between which is exactly our project we are working on. So we just made a folder of our project, and then again we have to right click here and then create a new folder again, and then we will press it 01 again here, and then levels. Now, so once we created the once we created a levels folder, we'll go ahead in file, and then in new level we will create an empty level now this time. So we'll just go ahead and click empty level. So we have an empty level in which we don't see anything at all. So we will be scratching it. So we will be starting from absolute scratch. So now let's go ahead and click save all, and again we will go in this project folder and then right click and make another project and make another folder and name it as 02 import, and enter. So now you see we have two folders here, and after this what we will do is we will go ahead here in DataSmith, and this DataSmith is automatically installed with 4.25 now, so you don't have to install it separately like earlier. So if you install 4.25, the DataSmith will be automatically there, it will be there inside it, so no problem. And also before that, before importing the objects inside Unreal Engine, we have to go here file, save current as, and then we should go into the project, and then in levels, and then we will be just naming it as 01 new map 01, and then save. So we will be saved. So now we have saved our levels, so it will not be losing now. And now we'll go ahead, click DataSmith, and then we will go inside D, and then view for ray tracing tutorial, and then export. Wherever you have to go, wherever you have exported those objects from 3D Studio Max. So just go ahead, locate them, and then please select them and then press open. Now here you have to go ahead and then select that import folder, so that you can so that you will be importing all those objects into this import folder. So go ahead and click OK. And here in DataSmith import options, you have to be a bit aware of what you need to do. So you can go ahead, leave it default, because this is ray tracing, and a ray tracing that light map resolution is null here. It's absolutely of no use. So let it be whatever it is, no problem. And this generate light map UVs is also on channel 2 is also null here. No need for them anymore. So just keep them default. No need to be worried about anything. And you can also keep this switched on or either off, because this lights, camera, and action, because animation, because anyway we haven't exported the light, camera, and animation from Max. So if it's on or off, it doesn't matter. But for the safety, I'll just switch them off, and then we just go ahead and click import. And also when you are exporting the object from your Max, you have to go ahead on Google, and you have to type DataSmith exporter for 3ds Max. So you have to download the DataSmith exporter for 3ds Max exact version of the Max you are using. I am using here for Max 2020. So you have to go ahead and download this from your Unreal Engine in US DataSmith plugins, and you have to download the DataSmith exporter for your Max version, like 2016 to 220, and for Unreal Engine 4.25. So you have to be just you have to just pay attention which 3ds Max version you are using for exporting, optimizing, and exporting the scene, and which Unreal Engine version you are using for importing and then working in the project. So install the exact version for DataSmith and related to the version of Unreal Engine you are going to use. So you just have to you have to just pay attention here. So I have downloaded DataSmith exporter for Max 2020, and I have downloaded this version for use with Unreal Engine 4.25, because I am going to use Unreal Engine 4.25 for the entire process. So you have to be just be aware of that. And anyway, I will be including the DataSmith exporter inside the tutorial assets, so no problem. You can just go ahead and find it from the tutorial resource and assets, and then you can install it directly for Max 2016 to 20. So here the DataSmith is importing all those geometries which we have exported from 3D Studio Max, and we have to wait until they are all imported here. And once DataSmith will import all the objects, Unreal Engine will compile the shaders for all the objects and meshes and their materials. So let the Unreal Engine to compile all the shaders, and you have to just wait until all the shaders are compiled of the objects that has been imported. So as you can see now, all the objects have been imported inside Unreal Engine. So we will go ahead and change this light mode to unlit straight away, and then we will go ahead in project settings, and we will change various settings that will help to activate ray tracing in our project, and that will be responsible for ray tracing scene inside Unreal Engine. So for that, what you have to do is you have to go in maps and modes, and then in default maps you can go ahead and then load new map 01, and in game default map also you have to make new map 01. And after that you have to just go here like in rendering now, and in rendering before that you can also go in editor preferences, like edit and the editor preferences here, and then loading and saving, just switch this off, auto save, and then again go to project setting, and you can go to project setting from here, edit, and then project settings. And project settings, go ahead, change the maps and modes to your new level which you have made, and then in rendering you have to go and then switch off this texture streaming. So we'll switch off this texture streaming, and then we'll reduce this reflection capture to reflection capture resolution from 2048 to 1024, and then we'll go ahead and scroll down here, and then in default setting we'll just go ahead and switch every option off here. So we just switched off. We will be using all these features, but we will be using all these features with the help of post process settings, or maybe post process volumes, not from here, because here every settings are automatic, but in post process volume we can go ahead and manually give the exact values needed. So we'll just switch all the options here, and then we'll continue here, and then we'll go in optimization, and in optimization there is a G buffer format. So go into this G buffer format and change it from default to high precision normals. So now it's now high precision normals, and now just scroll down and then go to this ray tracing, and then in ray tracing you have to click enable ray tracing, and it will ask that ray tracing requires enable skin cache. Do you want to automatically enable skin cache now? So you have to always press yes. And now all the settings related to ray tracing has been on. And one more thing you have to take care of, you have to just go inside here like bottom, and you will find this in platforms, in editor project settings. In platforms you will see windows, and this windows you have to go here and then scroll up, and then here default RHI has to be DirectX 12. So if you go here like in tab, our main tab, if you go here and you can see the graphics RHI is DirectX 11, and ray tracing will not work in DirectX 11, so it has to be DirectX 12. So it has to be DirectX 12. So we went ahead in project setting. After changing all the parameters in render settings, render palette or toolbar or options, we went ahead at the bottom, and in platform in Windows we have to change this to default RHI to DirectX 12. And after that we'll go ahead in our project and then go inside file and then save all, and let Unreal Engine to save everything. And once the Unreal Engine will save all the objects in the scene, we will go ahead and restart the editor. So we will be waiting. So we will wait until everything is saved inside Unreal Engine. So as you can see that all the object has been saved, we will go ahead and then click restart now, and wait until the Unreal Engine Unreal editor restarts. So once the Unreal Engine has been restarted, the first thing we are going to do is we'll go ahead here in modes, and then we'll search for post, and we'll drag and drop a post process volume here, and then we'll go inside this layer. So if you don't see this layer palette, you can go here in window, and then you can go here in layers. So if I close this and I want to see that layer palette, I can go in Windows, and then in layers I just click it here, and I can see that layer. And with post process selected, I will go inside this layer, and then I will right click and then add selected actor to new layer, and I will name it 02_ppv post process volume. So once I have made this layer, I will double click here. If I press escape, then everything is deselected, and I can just go ahead select the post process from here, volume from here, or maybe press escape again, and then I will double click on here on this layer, and then it will automatically select for us. And we have to go inside post process volume settings in details, and then we have to just go ahead and bloom, and then intensity of the bloom we have to make it 0.1. And after that we will go ahead in exposure, and in exposure we will be just switching on this exposure compensation, and in minimum and maximum brightness we will keep it 1, and then we here also 1, and we scroll down and just come to this rendering features, and then ray tracing global illumination here. You see, we just go ahead and then click here this, and it is disabled here, just make it enable and final gather, and don't activate anything from here, minimum maximum bounds and all those things. Don't worry about this. I'll be teaching about them later and how to use them efficiently and properly. So as of now you just have to enable this type and then final gather, and that's enough. And apart from this, like reflection, you don't have to do anything, and like ray tracing, reflection, all settings, don't have to do anything. I will explain this later in detail. And also on translucency, you have to don't have to do anything, and then ray tracing, translucency, you have to just don't do anything. So after you applied the post process volume, you have to go to just ray tracing, global illumination, and then just switch on this final gather. And this final gather we have switched on so that we can light the scene. So go ahead and complete the lighting of the scene. And once we have completed the lighting of the scene, we'll come back again here, and then we will be adjusting all these settings appropriately, and I will explain everything about them in detail. And also one more thing is, you have to just go ahead down, and then you have to make this post process volume setting infinite. You just don't forget this. So after all these settings, like bloom 2.1, and then auto exposure compensation on, and then minimum maximum 1 fixed to 1, and then ray tracing, global illumination has been switched to final gather. You have to come here, and then in post process volume setting, you have to make it infinite extent or unbound here. After that, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do the basic lighting here now. So before that, what we can do is we can go inside this scene, and now we can go ahead and make some viewport here. Like we go here, and then go to here, and then bookmark, and then set bookmark to bookmark 1, and the shortcut is Control 1. And so if I press 1, I can directly go to that viewport, bookmark to viewport. So I will go ahead and then do this like this. So I will go ahead and then make a one more bookmark, and now this time I will press Control 2, and then maybe one more bookmark, and press Control 3, and this way you can go ahead and make various bookmarks. So if I go, I can take, so if I want to test, then I can press 1 for bookmark 1, and then 1 2 for bookmark 2, and then 3 for bookmark 3. So from here, now we will go ahead and do the basic lighting. For that, what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and then go to unlit mode, but we will not be able to see anything. So again, we will be going to unlit mode. Instead of lit mode, we will be going into unlit mode. And now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go ahead in the lights, and then we will bring a skylight here inside the viewport. So now we have a skylight in the scene, and then we'll go ahead up, and then here in source type, we will just change it to SLS specified cube map, and in here we'll go ahead and then make another folder here and name it as texture, like 03 underscore textures. And in textures, we'll go ahead just input a texture here. So we'll go ahead and like here, and then HDRI, and then Peter 03, and then 1224, open it, and then we will open this HDRI, and then we'll make it like no mip map, and that's enough. No need to adjust this brightness in this ray tracing version anymore. And now we'll go ahead and then change this to lit mode. And after that, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and then apply this texture here. Like you see, it's now applied here now. And after this, we have to go to and make it a static. So skylight should be a static. Even if it's a ray tracing scene or a trace scene, the skylight should be static. And you have to just scroll down here, and then in light, and this there is a triangle here, so advanced, click here, and then I scroll down here, and then there is cast ray tracing shadows. So just click this on so that it will cast ray tracing shadows. And again we'll go ahead, come up, and then we'll go ahead here and then decrease its intensity to 0.1 or maybe 0.01. And now we will go ahead, make a cube, and see the direction of our skylight. So if you can, so you can see that this direction, we already have our main window here in the direction. So the shadow it's casting is the main window is in the same direction. So if it was not like that, like if the main windows were as this direction, then you have to go ahead and then go to bookmark 1 and then select this skylight. So I will go ahead and make another layer and name it as 03 underscore skylight, so that I can, if the skylight is not selected, I can just go ahead, double click it, and then this will be selected. So if I go up, and if this window was not at this direction, then I can rotate the cube map from here. You see, it's in real time now, and you can rotate it from here. So if the main window was at this direction, or maybe you want to bring the light inside the room from this side, then you can go ahead and use this source cube map rotation and change the direction of the sunlight or HDRI map. So here we are already having the desired angle. So we'll go ahead and then reset it, and again I will go inside here, and then now I will increase its intensity to 1 here. So after this we are seeing all these blotchiness and all those things, so you don't have to worry about this. We'll be taking care of them in the future, but as of now we can go inside blueprints and then open level blueprint. And in level blueprint, what we can do is we can go ahead and add a execute console command. And let me explain something here. In Unreal Engine, as of now in 4.25, although the Epic engine is, or Epic Games is saying that this is production ready, but it still has lots of bugs and errors. But we can correct and rectify almost all the bugs, and we can get a good result. But that is not out of the box, like it's a simple thing and just use the so and so light and it will be done. No, it's not like that. We have to spend time and effort and then make everything, all the ray tracing features to work for us, and that is what this tutorial is for. And I will be explaining how we can customize everything and all the features that are available in terms of ray tracing. We can adjust them and play with them and make a very good architectural visualization. As of now, even though we don't have a extremely polished ray tracing in Unreal Engine, but we can still make them but it's still possible we can get a realistic result. So on that regard, what I wanted to explain is this denoiser, like this GI Denoiser is already on inside the Unreal Engine. And if you want to cross check whether it's on or not, it's very simple. You have to go to message log here, or maybe output log. And if you don't see this output log, like if it's closed here, you can go inside Windows and then developer tools, and then you can see this output log. So you can see this output log, and if let me put it here as of now, and if you go here like in this command panel and press R dot ray tracing, and then we just select this and then press dot global illumination, and then press down here, you can see there's R dot ray tracing dot global illumination denoiser. So there is a command here, console command here, that is named as denoiser. And if we press space here and then press question mark here and then enter, then it says that denoising option by default it's 1. That 1 means it's on. That means if we start a new project and then we start working, then GI Denoiser is already on by default, and that GI Denoiser is not accurate. That means it's bugged. It's not actually denoising anything. Even it's making the denoising worst. So based on my experience, what you should do is you should go ahead, and if I press up arrow key, I can again see that command which I gave, and then I press back, and then I press 0, and then I press enter. So if I press enter now, and again if I go to the question mark here, and then I press enter, now you can see r dot ray tracing global illumination denoiser is 0. Now it's off because I switched off here manually. And now what we'll do is, so if it's locally switched on, so any time if I just go ahead and close this Unreal Engine editor, then what will happen is that this command which I gave here will be overridden. So to make this permanent, so every time I switch on the Unreal project to work on, so that global denoiser doesn't is not activated and making the things worst. Let me drag this here, and I will show the exact effect how bugged this global denoiser is. So if I go ahead and apply this, like one will be switch on, so you see how bad it is now. So it is supposed to denoise the GNOI, that means GI. That means GI should be even better if it's on, but GI is very worse here. You can clearly see in the scene. And if I go ahead, make it 0, now you have a lot better GI now. So you can clearly understand that how broken is this GI denoiser. If this GI denoiser should just make the whole GI smooth, but it's not making it smooth, it's even making it worse. So I switched it off, and now GI is much better. And we want to make this change permanent, so that every time we open this Unreal Engine project, we get this denoiser automatically activated. So for that, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and then select this whole thing here, right? Ray tracing global illumination denoiser. Don't select this space or anything else. And then I will right click here and then copy it. And then I will go inside this our level editor. And here we can also go like this. You just press tilde key. And then after pressing the tilde key, go ahead and press r dot ray tracing dot global and illumination, and then you select this and then copy this whole thing on, just copy it and then paste it here, and after that give a space and then 0 and then enter. Or you can also do here like a space 0 and then copy it and then go ahead and paste it here and then enter, and then compile it. So what we did is we went ahead on level blueprint, and on level blueprint we went ahead and on event begin play. That means anytime we play the Unreal Engine editor or game, these commands given on here on event begin play using execute console command will be loaded, and we have already given a console command of denoiser 0, like means global illumination denoiser to be made 0, because if we make it 1, it's bugged. It will make our GI even worse. So make it 0, and then just compile it and then file, go ahead and save all. So if we simulate here now, then that GI will be disabled. So anytime you open this project, and then it will be like denoising will be very bad, and but already we have put here, and the moment you will press play, and then boom, your denoising will be off and your GI will be better. So after this, what we will do is we'll go ahead and do a basic lighting. So as of now, we just went ahead and then give this skylight in the scene, and then applied a HDRI map, and we just give a HDRI map, and one more settings which we have to, or maybe one or two settings which we have to be worried about here in Skylight, we have to click this lower hemisphere off. So always switch off this lower hemisphere, because after working on 9 to 10 projects inside Unreal Engine on ray tracing project, I experienced that every time you lower the hemisphere will be better, and it will avoid uh, bugs and errors in this, because this Skylight is not highly tuned for being used inside the ray tracing. So it's always better to switch off this lower hemisphere. And if you want to reduce this noise here, you see all this noise are here, you can go ahead in this here in ray tracing sample per pixel, and you can go ahead and give 64, and then it will remove all those splotches and blotchiness. It will remove lots of blotchiness, and we will be removing this in further. So let's be patient, and I will show how to remove them further, but as of now let's keep them as it is. Now, once we are done with this Skylight, so Skylight setting, let me revise that we have to use a HDRI map, and then we have to make it static, and then we have to adjust the intensity and then rotation, maybe rotation of here from here, and then we can go ahead and switch off this lower hemisphere, and then we can go ahead and increase the sample per pixel, but we'll be increasing this sample per pixel at the time of rendering, not now. So let's proceed further with our basic lighting. So we'll go ahead again into lighting, and then we will just drag a rectangle light here in the scene, and make this rectangle light to be a movable object now. So a skylight was static, but this rectangle light has to be movable. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and make a new layer here. So add selected actor to the new layer and make 04 underscore, then rect light, or maybe, yeah, okay, let's keep it rect light. And now we have to go ahead and adjust this. So we'll rotate this skylight, sorry, rectangle. So we will rotate this rectangle light, and then we'll go ahead make the barn door angle to 90, and then bar door length to 1. Okay, and now we will go ahead and adjust this rectangle light. So we'll switch this move a snap and then scale a snap off, and we'll go ahead just bring this skylight to the windows. And we will increase the source length, and I will select this transparent curtain here, Control Shift and then Alt Q, or like right click, visibility, and so only selected. You can see Alt Q here. I have given a shortcut here to Alt Q, or maybe it was already there, I don't remember, but it's Alt Q to isolate selection, same as max. And then you can go ahead and press Alt H or maybe Alt K, and I will click again here and this rectangle light, and then I will just make this length and width equal to this, say something around similar to this curtain, transparent curtain. So I will go ahead, make the length like this here, or will not exactly match the length with the curtain, just something around like that. Yeah, so let's proceed with this as of now, and now we'll go ahead and then copy it, and then I will go ahead rotate it and then put it on all the openings of this project. And one more thing you have to pay attention, you can also put this outside of the here, and you can also put inside. So if you want, so if you put inside, you will have less bugs to be removed, and if you put outside, you will have a lots of bugs to be removed. So it's to remove it, this all these bugs, it will be difficult. So instead of putting them out, what I have learned right at the moment or till now is you have to put it inside the house itself. Okay, and just pay attention on this corner and see if it's looking realistic and good with this placement. So if I go ahead and move like this, so if I put it here like here or maybe here, it's looking more realistic. So if I put it like here, it's not good, the depth is not there. So you have to be just cautious about this corner depth so that you get a very nice effect here. So you just have to keep it just be smart enough to see and figure out what is the place you have to put it inside, and then I will go ahead and then continue further. So I will go ahead and hide this roof as of now so that I can access these lights very easily. And again, we will not be matching the length exactly the same. So we will just make it them like this, a little bit smaller than the exact opening where we are using them. So maybe like this is okay. Like this is okay. And also you have to just pay attention on this placement and see where it looks more realistic. So let's put it like here, and if it's too sharp, then you can go ahead and reduce this one and also this one so that it remains uh, blurry and realistic. So again, we will go ahead and then copy this light and put it on all the openings of the project. So we can see here one more opening, and I will go ahead, rotate this, and again place it very carefully. And now we'll go ahead change this floors material to white as of now, because it's because somehow Unreal DataSmith has not done a good job importing and converting the material of this floor. So let's go ahead and make it white. So I will just press 3 and then click on the viewport, and then I will just apply a base color and make it like this much of white, and then apply it. And maybe I will switch off roughness and specularity as of now. So now you can see we are getting very good light balls as of now. So for an instance, let's go ahead and switch these lights off and try to adjust the intensity of a skylight properly, like accurately. So let's see if it's okay or not. And if you want, you can go ahead in post process volume and you can increase this intensity also.